You want a dry erase marker? Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time it is for you, where you are. I'm Hazel. Happy Thursday. Welcome back. It is Thursday. I nailed that question first try. Go me. So smart. Let's get my windows sorted out, and then let's get my game turned on, and we'll get my sound turned on. How you guys doing? Cozy day. Yeah, let's see here. This is me trying to figure out the air temperature, like that's going to do anything. Hello, how you doing? Who is your plushie friend? This is Jerome. Jerome is my squishmallow, and he's going to sit on my lap today. I don't remember the name of this one, but it's got little tentacles. I was going to bring one with me this morning. I went out this morning early, and I had picked one out to bring with me to have in my car passenger seat because it makes me feel better about driving when I've got a plushie because I'm a grown-up. But I completely forgot to bring it. I just left it on my counter. I love him. Hi, Jerome. Okay, let's see here. That's there for later. Sound here. Oh, no, throwing things. Don't mind me. Okay. How you guys doing? Plushie passenger, kind of an amazing idea. And I have enough of them that I can kind of rotate it and take different ones out for little trips with me. And I like to kind of check in with them before I like leave wherever I'm going and pull out of the parking lot or whatever and be like, all right, you good? I don't buckle them up because I'm not crazy. But it's kind of cute. Don't know why more people don't do this. I mean, if you've got someone that's like riding with you, then not necessarily. I'm sure if Moose was with me, then he would eat it. All right. Waiting on another update. No. I want to thank Saga for a 45-month resub. Thank you, Saga. Whee! Holy smokes. Hi, everyone. Could you use them to access the carpool lane? Do they have those in Canada? There's a bus lane. I don't think I'm allowed in there, no matter how many passengers I have, unless I'm like, like turning right out of it or something, but I don't know. I haven't tried. Plushie bus. The photo check. Carpool lane in Southern Ontario. Yeah, it's got one of those diamonds that indicates it's for like a designated use, and I think I don't know. So I'm never gonna be driving enough people to find out, so it's all good. I'm Hazel. It's Thursday. I'm here. I have a little more coffee to drink. That might help. HOV lane. Yeah, high occupancy vehicle. Sorry, man, you don't have enough plushies. You need at least 3. Nordic wanted Chinese food. Oh, ho, ho. Got a baguette. Lemon tea. Sorry, office. The squishmallows need me. Prop up a few mannequins. Oh, man. I feel like I've lived 5 years in the last day, but it's not true. And also, like, not even that much happened. I'm just rolling along here. Why don't we... Let's see. Today I am still farming for the Megara's Fang because it pleases me to do this, and I would like to get it before... Oh, it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna keep working on it. I am gonna squeak out some dailies early on, though, just because I bet you we can get... We might be able to get 476 if we really believe in ourselves here, so maybe we get in queue for a few things. We'll do our Raid Finder wings. Both of them. And then we'll also grab... We'll do heroics first. Heroic scenario and maybe a heroic dungeon queue. Early to stream for once. Finished my remix collections yesterday. Over 1.6 million bronze needed. Holy smokes. Did y'all hear about a guy invented a clock that can eat? It has a problem. Every time it eats, it goes back 4 seconds. I feel like this is a really obvious joke. And I don't get it at all. How did it feel to get the book? Miss the weekend streams? It was fun. It was good. I was excited. I mogged it onto my priest. It finally managed to brute force it out of those Yongle and the steps. I can't believe we were grinding those for like 3 days. It didn't really feel like it. I didn't feel hard done by at all. It was kind of relaxing. How many weapon transmogs are you missing? Bunches. 60 Hang on. Oh, they're gonna make me do math. I have 68 of 119 on Priest. Priest would be the last one that I'm collecting, and I'm not expecting to get them all. I'm just always hoping to get at least one more, as long as there's time left. Oh, sad the radio silent about the arsenal. Yeah, I'm not expecting one at this point. I would love to be wrong, I would love to be surprised, but it's not on my bingo card. Not that I've ever made a bingo card. We're heading out this way.
Stop casting.
Yeah. This should be fine. We should have some more water. It's very important to stay hydrated. That's how you can be victorious. We've had a little warm weather. Yesterday was kind of like overcast and humid, but also hot. It was very muggy. I don't know where the word muggy originated, but I know that I don't like it. But I guess there wasn't too much glare. I had to take Moosey to the vet to get a vaccine updated, and as it turned out, I was able to catch him up on a bunch of them, as well as get him his annual exam, so he's done for a while now, which is great. I thought I was going to have to go back like 4 times, and I wasn't very excited about that. So being able to go in and kind of get everything sorted in one visit was great. Moosey managed to jump into the car, more or less. He had to be kind of brought to the door, but then once he realized it was happening, whether he liked it or not, he was like, fine. Fine, I'll jump. Ultra humid here for 2 weeks. We are so done with it. Lo and behold, it has broken today. Nice, there you go. Am I bad for leveling a second DK when I basically only like to play DK? Sounds like you're leveling the perfect thing. Any point in doing Proving Grounds in Remix? I think you can still get the same achievements that you would get from doing them regularly. It may be easier to get the achievements if you don't have them yet. I didn't bother because I had the achievements already. But yeah, Moose's patience is not a strong point when he is waiting at the vet in the exam room. He'll take like 3 minutes and he'll check everything out and he'll sniff every surface and he'll check all the corners. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm bored. And then sometimes it takes a while for the vet to actually get with you and you're like, no, bud, you gotta wait. So he brought a bunch of toys. I thought that would help. It did not help. He looked at his rope toy and his plushie and his ball and he was like, what do you want me to do with this? I want to leave. One trick bear druid refused to say how many druids I have now. Pre-patch going to be available to people that don't have War Within bot. Yeah, they don't cache gate pre-patch. You'll be good to go there. Because it's gonna just roll out for the main game. I'm not tired. I am not tired. Breathe in wakefulness. I'm up. I'm up. Alright, there's one scenario done.
Looking for something special?
And then another one. Ready to get the Anub title? Not a roast, I promise. I too am finally excited to be called Anub. Oh, I get it. I didn't know that was coming. That's funny. It took me a second. I'm like, why would that be a roast? You know, Anub Barak, Anub Barash, Anub Hazel. Have you seen the quantum items? Are warbound, but require level 70 or lower to use. 70 or lower? It's a bit strange, isn't it? Let's get in our normal dungeon queue. Because, I mean, it doesn't prevent... I mean, I guess, yeah, it's all a bit odd. I hadn't really thought about those. I kind of figured that one day when I could solo it, I would farm for quantum coursers for mounts, if that was possible. But I didn't really think about the transmog too much. A new Binksy. Okay.
I'll trust you.
Oh, I can afford an upgrade. I've been cranking my Serpent Crown with my Life Storm gem in it. As though I ever press it. I never do. I never remember to actually use it on bosses and stuff. I didn't use it in that whole scenario. And I do like raids and stuff with me. Never remember. Happy Wednesday. Just finished my neurology exam. Time for a brain break. There you go. Thursday. Long week. That's totally fine. I understand. Oh, I hope you have some lovely, rejuvenating rest, relaxation, recuperation. What other rewords do we have? Remuneration's always good, but I don't think it applies here. Pun intended, right? Did you end up getting a large amount of the other weapons trying to get the ones you wanted? That was part of the hope. And it's been moderately effective. I wouldn't say a lot. A couple. We've had a couple of weapons from LFR, and I had at least... Oh, this one again. Somebody's advertising in general chat for a guild called Costco Member. Join us, because in Battle and Bargains, we always buy in bulk.
Interrupt.
That's working for me this morning. Research into art supplies? Oh. Bulk transmog. This way. Get a package of 12 wands for the price of 3. I want to be in that guild. Well, they're on Proudmoore. They're recruiting. Oh, that's cool. You can post like a guild invite link into chat. I didn't know you could do that. That's nicer than them having to like spam people with them. This is just being normal. I don't think I'm gonna have to try terribly hard. I love Proudmoore. It seems like a really fun server. It's one of the servers I've never played on, which isn't a big statement. Most people have never played on most servers, but I think that might be the one that I know the most people from that I'm not actually on. Didn't know you were on Proudmoore. I'm not. I'm not. It's just connected to my my general chat somehow. I'm on Lightbringer, North America. That's me. Linseed oil is so flammable. It's nuts. Sometimes I miss being on an RP server. Fun number of years. I feel like I did the rounds of RP servers. I used to live on Feathermoon. I spent some time on Cenarian Circle. I think there was a third one that I played on as well. Not Moonguard. I had a character on Moonguard for giving away pets, but I didn't actually like level there too long. Wormrest, yeah, Wormrest Accord. I spent some time there as well. I had like a druid or something. The planet is supposed to have a really welcoming, inclusive community. Sisters of Elune represent. Long lost Void Elf Hunter on Feathermoon. I always liked the atmosphere. Back when Realm Atmosphere was more of a thing, I always liked the atmosphere on RP servers. I always found that they were just a little quieter. Nice for, even if you didn't have any intention of RPing yourself, just kind of nice if you wanted to just be a bit shy and do your thing. Are you good? You're not good. You're not gonna make it. I was always impressed by how motivated guilds were with organizing events. SOG servers, a lot of RP, fun to watch. My water bottle feels heavy today and it's not even all the way full. Raid Finder, wait. Oh, I don't know if I ever resolved the prediction from yesterday. Let me look. It sounds like the kind of thing I would have forgotten to do. Choose prediction outcome. It did not drop yesterday, so points to the unbelievers. We can run it again to see if it comes today. If you ever vote in a prediction and I don't end it by the end of the stream and you're like, what the heck? Do I have to stick around? You don't have to stick around. I will get to it. Because it literally won't let me start a new one until, it won't let me start a new prediction until I've resolved the last one. And even if you're not in the stream, you should still get your points just fine. Wormrest Accord has the ultimate gnome guild. Gnome are gone forever. Gravity strong today. Hazel slowly becoming more mighty. Theoretically, although in an extremely predictable fashion, I'm so impatient. I'm like, man, I've been working hard for 1 whole week. Why am I not Iron Man? What the heck? What do you mean it's basically the same as week 1 with very, very minor differences? Like, I understand that's the gig, but do I though? It's one thing to know something and it's another thing for like your soul to know it, and my soul don't know anything. That is impatient. I'm horrifically impatient with most things. If I don't see like immediate results, I'm like, but it's hard. Why am I doing hard thing if nothing happened? And I know you have to trust the process, but like I've always struggled with that. I'm always furious. And I'm not even doing poorly. I'm just what do you mean? Teacher at the summer art school I attended straight up teared when she saw I was using acrylics instead of oils. Oh, it's Daruma. Hi Daruma. How you doing? Will my life storm help me do damage? Oh, I'm on the meters! I'm in second! Oh, I mean it's no 11 mil, but I'm helping. Oh, something happened. What did I get? What did I get? I got an acid spine bone breaker. I heard the sound. It's a new appearance, but not the one that we're looking for. We haven't even finished voting yet. You guys still got a couple of minutes to predict whether this thing's gonna drop. I honestly don't know what'll happen if it drops before we're done voting. I guess people could just like scam it for really easy points because there's nothing for, I don't know if I could stop voting early actually. Spend 3 days grinding for one random mog, so you can't be that impatient always. Yeah, but that's because I don't, you know, Mog's all about the journey. WoW is all about the journey for me. I have yet to realize that about other things. Every time I see this boss, I think of Doctor Strange. Dear Mama, I've come to bargain. Taking a break from my workouts for the next week. Not judging. Never judgment here. Especially not with, like, you know, everybody's on their own journey and you gotta listen to your own body, and I'm not tired. I woke up at like 4:30 this morning. The wind was kind of going and my window was open but my curtains were closed. They were kind of flapping the curtains all over the place and that woke me up a little bit, and also I was a bit stressed because I knew I wanted to get up early and go to yoga. And I knew I wanted to try to drive there instead of catching the bus because I figured it could save some time, and I'd talked myself into it. It wasn't going to be crazy traffic that early in the morning and stuff. But I was stressed about it because I'm scared of everything. So I like couldn't go back to sleep. And then I was like almost back asleep. And I kind of had one of my feet sort of dangling a little bit outside of the blanket off the edge of the bed. And my kitty cat, my Miss Kira, decides she's gonna jump up onto the bed at exactly that spot, and she lands like against my feet and like kind of claws herself into them to haul herself up on the bed, and her claws went into the bottom of my toes. And I went, oh, I'm awake now. Oh no. I ended up just getting out of bed a little early. I will figure it out later. And then in the morning, I was having a stupid moment because I'm not real smart a lot of the time, but particularly if it's like early and it's pre-coffee and I'm like, I need to see the bottom of my foot because I need to find out if I'm like bleeding, because if I've broken skin, then maybe I should not, or maybe I should like band-aid them or something before I go to the studio, because you're walking around barefoot and I'm not trying to give anybody any of my blood cooties. So I was like sitting down, I was like, I need to see the bottom of my foot. I'm an idiot. I can't figure out how to do that. I eventually managed to like fold myself in a way. I'm like, okay, it's fine. We're not bleeding. We're good. But I had like it really stumped me for a minute where I was like, foot down, eyes up. Does not compute. Also, Marcelian, thank you for the raid. Welcome, raiders. Hope you had a great stream. Universe's way of telling you to go to yoga and face the scary things. I guess so. It was good. I'm glad I went. Cat missed his jump into my lap yesterday and anchored himself on my crotch. I relate. I understand. Careful with feet hanging off the bed. 2 possible fates. 1 is my dog licks my feet, which is gross. 2 is my cats attack them. One day we grew up and we find out that the monsters under our beds are actually just cats. Foot down, eyes up, can't lose. Oh man. But yeah, I seem to have walked that one off, which is good because I was a little worried that was going to be a problem. Alright, so we're done scenarios. I need to do oh, both dungeons. I guess I never got properly in queue. Or maybe I like lost a queue at some point. Heroic and normal dungeon. Make sure I'm still in queue for that same raid finder wing that we just finished. Yeah, because we're grinding for that dagger today. I'm gonna do my best. Should be a quest to turn in here.
You seek answers.
I don't even really mind that much when my dog licks my feet, to be honest. It's not the wildest thing that's been in his mouth in any given 24-hour period. I've just kind of made my peace with it, more or less. Took me so long to understand the picture of the dagger. It's yeah, I guess out of context it might be a little. Not that one. This one. Aiming big dagger. Big blinky. That's the one I want. There's two. The reason I have a screenshot is because one, it's fun. And then secondly, it's a specific colorway of it, because there's more than one Megara's dagger, and that's the specific colorway that I'm running the predictions for. I also need the other colorway, and I would be happy to get it. Oh, we're almost done. This is sick. This is the best dungeon queue ever. What happened? My army. I don't think I've heard this voice acting before, and I love it very much. I will build the bridge. Doesn't help that Shellfish isn't wearing pants. I didn't want anything to distract from the weapon appearance. It is true. It's a pair of naked drill legs.
Watch your feet.
I want to hear more of his lines. What else does he say? Anything?
Watch your feet.
What Pavalak could not.
I will do what Pavalak could not. There we go. You know, you gotta love a mantis that believes in himself. Perfect. Nice and fast. All the mantis remind me of Waspinator. What is Waspinator? I guess I can Google it. Let me do that. Waspinator. Eh? Oh. From Transformers. I see, I see. Beast Wars back in the early 2000s. Kind of root for that guy. Bridge building is admirable. What if he's just trying to, you know, use his architecture degree? His engineering, you know. Structural engineering, that's what they call that. Forgot about Waspinator. It looks like vaguely familiar. What are other characters? Transformers? But it also doesn't really look like something I would have seen as a kid. Beast Wars. There was also Air Razor, Terrorsaur, Tarantula, Scorponok. They kind of look like, I mean, honestly, that's a little bit like Pokemon. Except in you know, like, robot form. I think I've forgotten about the primary conceit of Transformers is that there's like a thing that can like transform into something else. So they're robots, but they're also dinosaurs. And I think I kind of forgot that that was the deal. All right, we're caught up. It was actually the mid-90s, and now I'm crumbling into dust. That's done, that's done. These look good. I've decided that Forgotten Depths is better than Last Stand of the Zandalari because it doesn't have the bridge in it. Good morning. Did we kill Pavalak or did he die during the bridge building? Pavalak might have died earlier in the same dungeon, but I'm not. I couldn't tell you. I could Google it. I'm gonna look it up. That's my new move. Instead of just feeling bad that I don't know things, I'm literally just Googling all of them. Pavalak, wow. Let's get the deets. Let's get the backstory. General Pavalak does not fear the Pandaren. Good to know. And so he introduces himself to the class. He is he the guy? Yeah, he's the guy that shields himself right before. He's the boss right before that. Does he have like a backstory? Does not differentiate between using his own might as mated armies. Victory is the only honor he seeks. Will not tolerate failure. My army will crush you. The Empress demands it. Alright, he doesn't seem to have much of a story. DPS should use bombs to get the shield down. Alright. Morning. Are we back to bright lights? I turned a second one on for today. You know. I'll get used to it. Sounds like a Romulan senator's name. They should introduce structural engineering as a knowledge tree for us in the next expansion.
What is it?
My main takeaway from WoW engineering is that it's too fiddly and it has too much junk and clutter and little bits and pieces that you don't remember what they're for anymore. That are involved, and I've never done any kind of engineering in real life, but that's how I imagine it is. I guess it depends on whether or not you're actually like building stuff, but I'm just picturing people with garages that just have extra like Arduinos and little, you know, doodads, technical word. Imagine instead of bombs and wormholes, you can help repair the broken bridges of Azeroth. I can see us repairing a bridge in like a patch zone to unlock access to something. You need all the engineers to like pitch in and channel for a little while. And then what if the more engineering skill you have, the faster your channeling works? Please don't just say late 1900s, Joe. Makes me feel weird. Yes, as someone who lives with an electrical engineer.
What's your fate?
Yeah, I'm holy spec. I'm not doing anything in particular. My main gig is pressing Lifestorm and then profiting. I'm not even gonna loot that. You can mail it to me. Profession quest lines like they had back in Legion. I know a lot of people like that. I enjoyed getting more recipes, but I found the quest lines aspect to be like really kind of fussy. It just wasn't for me. I found myself kind of like instantly exhausted anytime I came up against one. I like crafting. I think I'm excited about what they're doing in the War Within, where some of your recipes are going to get by catching a NPC crafting order, and then you kind of learn from doing that. I like the idea of learning more about crafting by crafting. I like to discover recipes and stuff like that. Race changed my main remix alt because I couldn't do the panda anymore. Oh no. Is Flabby still remixing? No. Flabby had an Elden Ring phase actually. Flabby's the Elden Lord now. I think he's messing around with Dark Souls 1 for the moment. He's waiting for pre-patch. Everyone's main responsibility is pressing Lifestorm. I'm curious to see if I'll get to 476 today. It would be kind of neat. I wouldn't be too mad at it. It'd be my second character fully leveled, which is not something I anticipated doing in the slightest. Oh, I got a weapon appearance just from the boss. I got a Yongle Shanker. It looks like a Maldraxxus weapon. It really looks like a Maldraxxus weapon. It's not. But if you asked me to guess where that came from, I would bet I mean, I'm not a gambling person, but I would bet all of my all of I don't know, something. That looks like Maldraxxus Shanker. Don't even know her. Bronze, yeah. My chips. I was trying to think of something that I could bear to part with if I lost it, and I'm so risk averse I can't even do it hypothetically. I don't know. My sourdough starter, my plushies. Madam Hazel. Happy. I want to say it's Thursday, but not sure. Happy. Potentially Thursday. Allegedly Thursday. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Thursday for most of the world at least. Thanks, right back at you. I'm doing alright. I got an early start today, which is good. I did a scary thing already this morning, which was good. It went fine. And I also discovered that I had been avoiding driving myself to my yoga studio because I was like, oh man, parking is going to cost like more than the bus. And it turns out if I go at the crack of dawn, parking's free. They don't start charging for parking until after like 8 a.m., which is great. So it actually is, I mean, gas is still money, but assuming I don't, you know, wrap myself around a telephone pole or anything, it is cheaper for me to drive. The scary thing was just driving instead of taking the bus to a morning yoga practice. Also going is scary still too. Especially because we learned some new stuff and I was trying to practice the new stuff and I had to try and remember the new stuff and then I couldn't really do the new stuff very good. So, you know, you just do your best. That's all you can ever do. But I'm feeling it now. I keep hearing that yoga wakes you up and gives you energy and it's a good thing to do first thing in the morning and it really sets you up for the rest of your day. And I'm really looking forward to that part to start because right now... every day I do it and I'm like, oh great, that was good, we did it, and then I'm like tired. Primal tired. Maybe it's like the runner's high. I think my body's just adjusting to a different level of exertion that it's not used to, and that eventually it will budget me some energy from somewhere. A great morning. It was lovely, actually. It'll be nicer when I've done it another like 30 times and I'm not so scared of it. And I've kind of like got the hang of it and I figured out my favorite ways to get places. There was one corner that I had been watching before while on foot and I'd been planning to use that corner to get home when I was driving. And people were always honking at people turning on this corner. I'm like, that's kind of weird. I wonder why. And I like went to go home on it and I was going to turn and I'm like, oh, that's why everybody gets honked at. It's illegal to turn there. There's a big fat sign that says, don't you dare turn here. Not allowed, very illegal. So I had to keep going and find a different way home, which worked fine. You know, all hail Google Maps and their rerouting. They always find a way. Doesn't matter how many turns you miss, they'll figure out some way for you to get home. But, it's like, okay, I now understand why people are so mad whenever people turn on this corner because you are like super not supposed to do that. Current log farm image is funny. He's wearing undies. You just can't see them. I didn't mean to. I know there's like a word for that. There's some kind of intentional like illusion where you've just like cropped out the modesty bits and it like implies nudity, and I did not mean to imply shellfish's nudity. Next time I do a mog screenshot, I'll find some like Bermuda shorts to put the poor guy in. Apparently not enforced. I think it's pretty unusual for police to do traffic stops in town. Not impossible, but they're my understanding is that they're busy. Swim shorts. The most naked troll in Warcraft. Love Google Maps because I can't use it. Doesn't allow for weight restrictions or low bridges. Oh, that sucks. I appreciate it because I find that it's actually surprisingly good for reading me around construction. It does like quite a good job of figuring out when roads are like blocked or closed or when there's like something preventing me from going up ahead, and it usually routes me around it just fine. How many more weapons do you need? 50 something, but I'm not expecting to get them all. Also, good morning, Hazel. Good morning. Even attack racing. Oh dear. I'm not even gonna read it. It is 9:42 in the morning. So everybody take a cold shower. Or a warm shower. I'm like already double showered for the day because I have to shower before I go, because if I'm gonna be like stretching and working out and sweating and in like an indoor room with a bunch of other people, I don't want to be stinky. So I need to do at least like a quick shower before I go so that I'm not like smelly. But then you have to shower when you get back because you're drenched. I need to bring a towel to put in my car to separate my car from myself because I don't want my car seat to start smelling like sweat. Did everybody get 3 emails from Blizzard yesterday? Didn't love it. They, overlapping their marketing. Appreciate you. Too humid to not take a cold shower. Summer is taking showers multiple times a day. Yoga studios with showers are great. They do have showers at the one that I go to. I just haven't had the, why can I not think of a word that's not testicles? I just don't have the courage to do it yet. I don't know if I will. I don't even change my clothes. I just put a hoodie on and off over top of my yoga stuff that I wore all the way there. Don't think you can be stinky from working out if you already had a shower before. You get stinky when your hygiene's bad in general. I guess, yeah. I guess damp is different from smelly, but still. I keep towels in the car for my dog. I may as well keep an extra one for me. I feel like I joined at the wrong time. What if you joined at the perfect time? Hot yoga mat. Doesn't get slippery when I sweat. Use it for all yoga now. I ended up getting a rubber one. I have a natural rubber mat, and it's great because it has giga traction. I like it quite a bit. My other one, I was sliding all over the place on, and it was a little bit dangerous. Shower before gym, right after, for the very same reason. Yeah. Look at all this bronze. I'm rich. Also, make sure that I am in queue for at least 2 wings. Very good. Very good. Double check, make sure we didn't accidentally get it or anything. Megara's Fang from LFR. So there's now 6 remaining weapon appearances that I could get from doing Throne of Thunder LFR specifically. One of them is the one that we're farming for. Yeah, Shellfish is pretty close to done. He's at 463 right now. I am optimistic that I can finish it today. Not convinced, but it's looking good. Does bother me when people wear perfume fragrance to the gym. To each their own, but that's like not the reaction, but like somebody wearing fragrance to the gym is crazy to me. I know people wear, and I mean I'm not gonna notice. Like if I'm anywhere like that, I'm not going to a gym specifically, but I'm sure the same rules would apply. I'm not looking at other people. I'm not worrying about other people. Aside from trying to like stay in my lane and stay out of anybody's way, I have no business in what anybody else is doing, so I'm not really there to judge. But for myself and my own life, I can't imagine putting on makeup to go to the gym. Maybe once upon a time. There was a time in my life where I wouldn't step out my door to even walk my dog without eyeliner on, but I have changed. Are you worried about your seat getting stinky when you road trip in summer? I'm not. Mainly because I don't anticipate road tripping ever. I've never done so, and I have no reason to believe that I'll begin. I guess. Full faces of makeup because you're going to yeah, like some makeup is wonderfully waterproof, which is great, I guess, but yeah, I don't know. There's something lovely about having like being very sweaty, and then you can like just rinse your face with some water and rub it off in a towel and not be like, oh no, my mascara. Hate being caught in videos, want to look like a sweaty tomato in peace. I would be very uncomfortable. I wouldn't want to be in anybody's video. But I've not worked out in a public gym, so I don't know how big of a problem it is. Friend's car has air-conditioned seats. I want some. I have heated seats in my car. And the other day, I forget where I was going to or from. I was doing something. It might have been coming back from fishing. I think I was coming back from fishing, and I'm leaving, and I'm like not feeling good. I'm like kind of nauseous. I'm really warm. It was a hot day. We'd been fishing and hiking, and I was just like trying to get home and figure out what we were going to have for lunch. And I'm like really not feeling good. And I'm like not halfway home, maybe a third of the way home. And I look down and I realized that at some point in turning all the fans and stuff on, I had accidentally blasted my seat heater to a level 3, which I don't even turn it to in the winter. I keep it on like a off generally, but like if it's really cold, I'll turn it on to a 1. Maybe a 2 if it's like a cold snap and I'm freezing. But I was like, no wonder you feel sick. You're literally roasting. Oh, hot yoga. Hot car seat. Guard, thank you for the 8-month resub. Can't always join or support, but every time I get to, your streams enable my collectionist. So I'm glad to have you here. Done with Saturday news. I'm not finished with it. I missed one. I'm gonna do my best to be back at it this week. Jim has 1 or 2 creators taking videos with their tripod set up every time I'm there. And sometimes people might be just recording themselves to like check their own form and stuff. I don't know. It's none of my business. I just don't want to be included. I would be worried if you were taking videos at your regular gym where you work out that people would figure out what gym you work out at, get an idea for when you go, and be able to find you. Like, that seems kind of sketch. Form checks are for sure a thing. Yeah. I need to farm something in the meantime. I don't want to be just sitting here. Because we did all of our dailies and we turned them in, didn't we? Scenarios, normal, heroic, dungeon, normal, heroic? Dungeon, normal, heroic. Yeah, we did all that. That's great. I got upgraded to 467. That's great. Go team. I have something in my mail from that boss that I couldn't be bothered to loot. Find you and do what? Any number of things. Stalking. It's uncomfortable. They could follow you home. They could find out what you drive. They could put a tracking device on your car. They could take photos of you without your consent. They could approach you. Like, it's not good. You do not want strangers from the internet tracking down places that you go regularly. Record myself for pole dance to track progress. Know the angles so I can avoid getting others in my shots. Take shellfish through WOD time walking week. Where are we going? This way. I believe I still need weapons from Town Long. I do. There's 3 things we can get there. Even if you are not like a content creator, it's really important to be careful of online safety because you don't need to be a huge creator to have somebody to catch the attention of somebody that you would prefer not to have the attention of. Even if you think it's just like a private Instagram or whatever, just be careful with places that you frequent and where you post yourself online.
We are the sword in the shadows.
As far as form checks go, I'm kind of glad there's no mirrors but the teachers can help me. That's the nice thing about going and practicing at the studio is they'll watch you, and if they see you doing something stupid, you gotta trust that they're gonna tell you about it. I hope that they know that they're never gonna hurt my feelings by giving me corrections. I need all the help that I can get, and if I'm doing something wrong, I might not know what I'm doing wrong, which is why you go to the studios to get help and to get assistance and hands-on and stuff. Wait till you get home for posting vacation photos. Yep. Even something like an Instagram story of like a place that I'm out at, I will record those and I will post them later. Like I'll either schedule them to go up like after like 6 hours or 8 hours or 24 hours, or I'll just like bank them on my phone and I'll post them later. Sometimes you'll see a story on my Instagram and it's not usually real time if I'm out there, just in case. Doing something wrong is not stupid. It is normal. This is true. It's a good thing to remember. You just gotta be careful when you're doing new things with your body that you don't break it, because you can. Nobody's invincible, especially not your poor joints. Wife used to work at a job involving missing people, and it's crazy how often people would fall victim to trafficking from just streaming everyday stuff. Also have to wear my glasses if I'm not right in front because I lose my ability to see myself in the mirrors. I started taking off my glasses because they were falling off. They were sliding off of my face. And it's usually a fairly self-paced and self-directed practice, so I shouldn't need to like see anybody to follow them along. But it does mean that if there's ever any like notes in the wall that I'm trying to refer to or anything, I'm like squinting like, what? Hey, what? Who? Hi? But if anybody was ever worried about, I don't know, practicing in front of me because they don't want me to see anything if they were shy, good news, I can't see anything. The ability of some people to figure out locations from tiny clues in photos is uncanny. Yeah, you can't ever assume that something is so generic that you can't be found. It's just a bit spooky, but you just have to be careful. Doesn't mean you shouldn't live your life. Elastic bands to tie your glasses for sport. Yeah, but it's just a bit uncomfortable. I think I'm probably fine without them. I'm not bumping into anybody. I might start wearing them again for class when there are notes on the board, but for the most part, you're not doing too much reading in yoga. Seems like. Speaking of which, I need to fix my spine. I'm imagining myself with like those neon like stretchy cords that go to the arms of your glasses behind your head that help like keep them on. I'm sure some people just wear contacts. I just don't have any. I also don't feel strongly like I need them. Plus I feel cute in my glasses.
All that matters is the mission.
We are the watchers on the wall.
Any luck? And there's one problem with farming LFR weapons is you're a little bit at the mercy of queue times. I think I'm gonna queue for the Wing 2 as well. Not Wing 1, we hate Wing 1. But Wing 2 just to have an extra thing we can do. Cannot get contacts into my eyes to save my life. In the NBA they have prescription goggles.
The Shadow Band welcome you.
We are the sword in the shadows.
Head empty, no thoughts. Did Taekwondo when I was younger. Instructor had prescription goggles. They must make high fashion versions for sports where people have a lot of money to throw around. Not that that's what I'm looking for. One day I'm gonna buy myself sunglasses. That'll be a big day. Look up Horace Grant, more of a statement than fashion. Alright. Horace Grant goggles. Images. His trademark goggles. That looks fine. Oh, he was on the Bulls. They play basketball. I know that one. I watched the Michael Jordan show. I recently finished watching one of the Netflix sports ones that was about football. And I almost understand why they're playing. Or, like, what they're trying to do. I still don't quite get what's happening in football. But, like, I know a little more than I did before. I've never in my life, like, sat down and watched a game because it always seemed way too confusing for me to follow. And I still don't get it, but, like, I get it a tiny bit more. American football, yes. Take ball over line. But there's a lot of things that were not intuitive to me. There's a lot of rules about what, where, and how, and who, and people seem to really hit each other a lot, and sometimes they hit each other and they keep going. It always just kind of looks like someone's... It's funny because the receiver, like, catches the ball, and all of a sudden there's, like, 3 people that are ready to, like, sacrifice it all to stop them, and it's just like watching, like... If you've ever seen chickens in a yard, and then one of them gets something really good, like it pulls up like a worm, and then all of a sudden all the other chickens are like trying to end the first chicken to take the worm. That's what football reminds me of. It's just everybody being like, get them! And it's, like, and it's so violent. And then they get injured and they're like, oh no, how could this happen to me? And it's like, I can't imagine why. Has a lot of rules that are not very intuitive. The other games that I had watched before, I still don't fully understand them, but things like basketball and soccer or European football and then hockey all kind of have like one ball, puck, whatever, and then like a goal on either side. So it makes a little bit more sense, especially in like hockey where pretty much, you know, you get a goal and that's a point. That's basically the gist of it. I didn't know until this week when I watched that show that the whole football team doesn't play all the time. They have I guess offense and defense, and they like rotate. I was watching the show being like, how come whenever this guy's playing, this guy's just watching him looking cranky? What's the deal with that? Because that just seems so crazy to me that they wouldn't be on the field at the same time. It's like they're, I don't know. It's very strange to me. I can see more of the appeal behind people following it though after having watched it. It was quite exciting to watch people catch things that were difficult to catch and see how fast they can run. It's fun to watch people like juke and run around each other because it reminds me a little bit of WoW Arena, where sometimes you would have one player that was like really good and the whole team, the enemy team, would do nothing except try to shut them down because they were so scared of that one player. And apparently that same thing, I guess it happens in basketball too, but like can happen in other sports where they're like, all right, this guy is going to ruin our lives. So I'm going to need all three of you to go make sure that he doesn't. And there's like mind games involved in that too. It's kind of cool. I didn't expect to find parallels to World of Warcraft Arena, but there were a few. It's not baseball. Don't even start with baseball. I don't know what they're doing. They seem to take it very seriously though, so I'm proud of them. I couldn't believe when I found out for the first time how much money some of these people make though. Like good for them because their league is bringing in much more than that to all the advertisers because so many people watch all of this.
Beware.
Like it's very much worth it and they're the ones putting their bodies and their youth and their lives on the line for it. But like, oh my god. What do you even do with that kind of money? Try watching cricket as someone who doesn't understand cricket. Mind this fight so much in LFR. It's not so bad. I'm not in a huge hurry to get in and out. It's better than sitting in an LFR queue. Local radio hosts used to play for the NFL. I hope that it's not true that most of them go bankrupt. I'm sure some of them do. I would really hope that at least some of them get an advisor or somebody to help them invest and save and make a plan. At some point, you have to look at the people that went before you and learn something. It sounds like that stat line that says that most lottery winners lose it all afterwards, that I don't think that's necessarily true. Some of them, certainly. Most of them? That's a big statement. I did not hear about that football player. That's crazy. That's scary. It seems so dangerous. I would be just like a wreck if somebody that was close to me was trying to play a sport that dangerous. Yeah, 16% is quite far from most. It's still way too many, but like, that is less than a quarter. Done a lot better job getting players to invest. That's good. Gonna let our kids do whatever sport or extracurricular they want, except football. But what if that's what they really want? That's a you and your family problem, but oh man. This is why I can't be a parent. I would just be a wreck the entire time. And we get backing key for the one we got out of. And we're looking good. Oh yeah, we can check this box too. That has a chance to contain the thing. I did get a weapon, but I had that one already. Changing helmets to have more cushions, some illegal tackles. Yeah, it was wild just watching them talk to each other about their injuries and how common they are. And also seeing how much work they put into rehabbing them. Like, if your body's like a multi-million-dollar asset to a company, there's really nothing that they won't do to try to fix it so they can send you out to break you all over again. Kinda nuts. But that's the fun thing about Netflix. You get to learn about a bunch of stuff that you didn't know about that you will never experience firsthand. Aw, thank you, Whitley. That's really sweet. I appreciate it. I need to heal a few more people here. They're around. Series called Hard Knocks. Old trainer used to love it. They follow a team around for a season.
Pandaria conceives a great darkness.
HBO. Next year is the Bears. Do you have anything, be it sweets, snacks, what have you, that if you open a pack, you eat it until you are sick with no ability to stop yourself? I can pretty easily overdo it with popcorn at a movie theater because I'm distracted, because I'm watching the movie, so I'm not thinking about whether or not I feel done, and I'll instinctively keep eating it. I know this is the whole point of popcorn, but like, if I'm not careful, I can end up overdoing it and then feel pretty gross for a day or so. But most things, not really, because I know if I'm having something like that, which I don't really do very often, I would not have it straight out of the package. I would like dish up a bowl, put the package away, put it in the cupboard, take the bowl, like the serving, to the couch or wherever I'm going to have it, and then when the bowl's empty, it's done. I don't think there's very many things I eat directly out of the package unless they're already a single serving. The butter and salt's pretty good. It's possible to be done eating popcorn. I have to remind myself of popcorn tummy, which is how I feel after I've had popcorn when I'm trying to go to sleep the night after the movie. No matter how much water I have to remind myself that it's not going to be fun later if you have too much. But we have to have a little bit because otherwise, like it's part of going to the movies. So my partner and I will share a small, and as long as I do a little less than half of it, we're usually all right. Never like popcorn, go to movies without snacks.
Speak. Stay vigilant.
I'm sure it wouldn't hurt me so much if I didn't have it with like salt and butter, but if I didn't have it with salt and butter, what's the point? What are we doing here? I've never found healthy popcorn to be worth my time. Salty, yeah. Salty over sweet. Lock cupboard with key, drive hour away, throw key into ocean. See, those kind of self-control issues, I don't really have them with food, but I totally have them with media consumption and digital devices. Like, I'm that person that needs like 19 site blockers and a phone safe for my phone just to stop me from ruining my life with it. Always pop in pot with butter only. Best popcorn. When I was making it at home, I had a pretty good stretch of making it. I would pop it in a pot on the stove with coconut oil, and then I would melt butter to put on top of it after, and that was pretty good. I haven't done like a home movie night in a while. Side of popcorn with my melted butter and salt. Now I want to go see a movie and eat all the things. Gotta find a good movie to go see. Air popper should get it out. I was really surprised when I found out how easy it was to just pop loose popcorn kernels in just a big pot on the stove. I really thought you needed fancy equipment for it. And I love kitchen appliances. I am a big sucker for specialty kitchen appliances. So for me to say that I really don't need one is a pretty big deal. Going to see Inside Out 2 tomorrow. The missus booked it. Didn't get to have a say. Oh, I hope you enjoy it. I saw that one in theaters too. It was cute. You like chips and salsa? That's my kryptonite. It's alright. I'll have a little bit. Bonus points if there's guac and like melted cheese and stuff. I won't usually go crazy though. Salty snacks are good, but they start to break apart my mouth if I have too much of them, so there's a pretty good indicator that I should stop. We got Indian food for dinner last night, and it was so good. We'd had kind of like a day. I was just feeling very stressed and overwhelmed. I've been having kind of a tough brain week, and I was just kind of feeling like I'm drowning a little bit, and we make it through this vet appointment. We get home. We get Lucy all settled and everything's ready, and we get some food, and it just felt so good to just sit and eat and just like chill out for the night. I could have cried. It was so nice. What's the pre-patch for? The pre-patch will be for the next expansion. It's the patch that comes before the War Within that brings some of the systems changes like the war bands. Salt and sour is my favorite, so vinegar and salt. What kind of Indian do you get? One place you were telling us about. I think it was from that place. We usually get kind of tandoori food. We'll usually get like a curry, some samosas, some naan bread, rice of course. We got like an extra thing to try. I got something that I'd never tried before called like a Malai kofta, which was a really yummy curry that had paneer, but also like these sort of soft spiced potato dumplings in the curry. Because give me all of the starches. Bread, rice, and potatoes with my curry. Yes, please. Thank you. And it was so good. And a coconut lassi because I'm special. I'm going to main a holy priest. Gnome holy priest with a side of shadow. Or shadow priest with a side of holy. We'll see. Like naan bread with garlic. It's so easy for me to eat too much, but Indian's the one thing that I can eat that's takeout that I don't pay for later. Like, I don't regret it later. It always sits really well with me. Palak paneer, I die. That used to be my go-to, and I still like it a lot, but I've started branching out and trying different stuff off the menu, and they've literally never let me down. They're so good. Which is hard. I'm picky sometimes. I don't always like the stuff that I get when I order out. Can't taste any food since I've been sick. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope you feel better soon. Craving spicy Thai food to clear up my sinuses the rest of the way. Naan bread? Like thin bread? Yeah. ATM machine. TSM master. Such a wimp with spice. They'll do mild spice here. I don't usually get anything super spicy. I usually order mild and they don't hurt me. Like when people say chai tea, yeah, or masala spice. That was amazing. I do like a really basic, inauthentic version of dal at home, in my Instant Pot with lentils and some curry spices. Yeah, I like Hana Masala a lot. That's good. I haven't had like a good proper like chai in a long time actually. I kind of want some now. Mom made dal yesterday. It was delicious. I love lentils. I need to eat a few more of them. I'm trying to round up my diet and make sure I'm getting everything I need. It's hard. Might make potato curry tonight. We've reached the making me hungry portion of the stream. It's early too. I'm gonna put a moratorium on food talk for another 48 minutes. Let's leave it till 11 Pacific and then we can start talking. I'm not even hungry. I had a huge breakfast. It was really good. Alright, sit. This shirt is really comfy, but I feel like it has like a weirdly wide neck in that it ends up looking like pajamas because you could like fit like another person in here. I don't mind oversized clothing, but I usually want like the collar to be like not tight, but like, I don't know, 10% shorter than this. Put it back that way. Keep the gap behind me. With warbands, you're gonna start collecting account-wide mogs? Maybe. Time permitting, you know, I'll have to see what we're getting up to. What did you have for breakfast? Was it before or after yoga? After yoga for sure. I have learned the hard way. I cannot eat anything bigger than maybe a granola bar in the 3 to 4 hours before yoga. Because bad. No good. Very uncomfortable because not only are you sweating and working really hard, you're also inverting. You're tipping upside down a lot. And it does not do anything good for digestion. You do not want to have a meal in you when you do that. So I eat either nothing or almost nothing. I'll eat like a granola or like a banana or something before I go, just so that I'm not like fainting before you go. But then after we got back, my partner went out and got us. We were out of bread and eggs, and he went out to like a bakery that sells farm eggs and got both, which is really sweet of him. And made eggs and toast. It was gonna be avocado toast, but our avocado's not quite ripe yet. But I had 2 eggs, which is a lot for me. And then like quite a bit of bread, and it was like fresh sourdough from the bakery, and it was really good. Normal eggs, any colored eggs. I'm a bit confused by the question. I don't think there is a normal color of eggs. Like brown and white eggs are the same thing. It's just that based on what kind of chicken laid them. It doesn't change the actual egg. I'm not getting like little Easter eggs or like pheasant eggs or anything, if that's what we mean. Yesterday tuned in, started with mozzarella sticks. You're right, we're talking about food again. I'm cutting it off. You tricked me for just a second. Avocado toast, no wonder you can't afford a house. Uh-huh. That's an original joke. Keep it up. Seen blue and brown eggs. I feel like brown and white are both kind of equally normal to me for eggs. Blue means that there's a chicken there's a fancy chicken in there somewhere. We had some of the bantam hens that would lay the Easter eggs, the little colored ones, when I was a kid. They're also very small. They were cute, but they were just basically for fun. Desperately trying to steer this gravy boat. I gotta come up with something else. Food's nice because it's one thing that we all have in common because we all eat and we all have opinions, and also it's like no one has to agree. It's like one place in life where we've all kind of learned to agree to disagree, and if somebody else doesn't like the thing that I like, then it's more for me. You know, it's not that nobody ever gets heated about food, but for the most part we can, like, I don't know, share things and relate and just chat and not get into an enormous fight. Which background would you use if you could choose any for your warband screen? It's gotta be something outdoors. My first thought was like, it'd be kind of cute if they were all sitting at a bar at like the lounge in Dalaran. That would be kind of cute, actually. Ooh. The outdoor restaurant in Borealis. In the Borealis section where nobody ever goes because there's nothing to do there. There is a restaurant, a few of them actually, that have outdoor seating. And there's little booths that are by the water. Oh man, 4 characters sitting at the booth. Perfect. Silvermane 100%. Oh, I heard a sound. What was it? I got a Megura's Fang. Was it the right one? Was it the one? It was the one. Woo! Yes. We did it. We did it. I always feel silly saying that. I'm like, what did I do? Nothing. I just stayed here until it happened. I gotta resolve the prediction. Congratulations to everybody that believed. Oh, lots of you believed today. Yes, it did drop. Didn't do it yesterday, but it happened today. Nice. A lot of characters would fit in with a gold char background. You're free. I want to go check out that place in Borealis now because now that we mention it, I kind of miss it. Another round? Yeah, I'll have to pick out what I'm gonna look for next. Find something to farm that's a little bit different. We're high enough item level now that we can pretty much get away with farming anywhere. We should be doing plenty of damage regardless. I'm so happy that I got that. That's a cool colorway. Find another awful book or fan. Maybe. There are more. They're not as pretty as the red one, though. My warband is going to be my main, surrounded by level 1 Kultiran hunks. You just make your main like a fan club? That's hilarious. That's so good. What happens after pre-patch? What do you mean? On stream? Or in life? Or in the game? I'm gonna do the pre-patch event, and I'm gonna maybe get a couple characters ready to go for the War Within, and then if I have extra time, I might do some transmog farming, or I might even do more remix transmog farming, because that's something that's sort of limited time availability. But yeah, there'll be pre-patch will be up for a bit. There'll be an event that goes on for a while, and then eventually the War Within's gonna come out. Early access starts in late August. We'll be here before we know it. Fully in mog farming and alt's kind of fun. I suppose I may as well go in for the rest of the ones that I'm queued up for. I do need more mog, technically. So we're down to 71 of 119 things my priest could get here. There are 5 items remaining from Throne of Thunder LFR. Guys, there's still 3 more Megara's Fang colors that I don't have somehow. 1 more from LFR, 1 from normal, and 1 from heroic. Are none of those shared? How many colors could there possibly be? My friend got so upset that rare mount drops are available in Remix. He worked for those 1% drops. Yeah. It was less bronze to farm, at least. I was kind of happy to be done with mount collecting a bit early because I had so many of them already. Do you guys think it will be reasonable to farm enough residue to buy all the transmogs? Usually it's I mean, it depends on your own definition of reasonable, but it's usually doable. Another 4 chances to make the troll even more naked. Right. They're usually fairly cognizant that if those are appearances that are limited availability and only available in the pre-patch event, they don't usually make them crazy annoying to get. Something important to remember though is that the event will not start on the same date as pre-patch. Pre-patch is going to go live a week before the event starts, so there'll be a week to kind of mess around with whatever you want in pre-patch before Radiant Echoes. So you can... Class changes will be in. Hero talents will not be playable because you'll unlock hero talents on your way to 80, but your basic talent and class changes will be there. You can play around with the new version of your class. The transmog collecting changes will be in, so you can run some old raids and collect buckets of transmog. I'm probably going to do at least a little bit of that. We don't start leveling until the expansion early access starts, or the expansion comes out, depending on whether or not you get early access. We know what's happening for the pre-patch event in vague terms. It's called the Radiant Echoes. It's very reminiscent of what we've seen before. There will be bosses spawning sort of memories of different things in a few different places. You kill the bosses, you get currency, you buy stuff off a vendor. It sounds pretty boring, to be honest with you, but boring's fine. It's not like it's part of our game forever. Sounds like Time Rifts, yeah. I'm not expecting to be wowed, but maybe I will be. Maybe it'll be fun. Who's to say? Cool if they'd added a delve for pre-patch. Yeah, good catch-up gear from it. 489. I don't know if I knew it was 489. That's pretty great.
If I must.
What was your favorite pre-patch event? I'm trying to think of the ones that I actually took part in. And what happened for them. Because a lot of them I don't really remember. I know Cataclysm was elementals invading Orgrimmar, and presumably Stormwind, but I played Horde at the time. That didn't really float my boat. People were let down by that one because it was the first one after, like, the Wrath pre-patch event was infamous. And a lot of people wanted something that was going to be that exciting again, and other people were like, don't do it, it ruined my life for 2 weeks. Or whatever it is. So the people thought that the elemental invasion was kind of boring in comparison.
The light.
I don't remember for the life of me what we had for pre-patch events for... BFA, WAD, or Shadowlands. I know there was demon invasions for one of them. There was like Legion demon invasions. I've got something in Stormwind. Wrath event was super controversial. It got the people talking. BFA was the War of Thorns in the Shore Place. Yeah, I think honestly, I don't think I like pre-patch events. I think they're always pretty dull. I don't know what I have. I guess they can't make them too good because they are very much temporary, but I can't even remember most of them, so that's not a glowing review. Stuff in the Blasted Lands and the first 3 bosses and Ubers. I remember farming a pet in the Blasted Lands. But I don't know what they could do to make me happy because I don't really worry about story stuff, so whenever they do like big scenarios, BFA style like story quest lines, it's just homework to me. I like fun collectibles, but you can't really do anything too interesting with fun collectibles in pre-patch because it's going away. I don't remember the Dragonflight one in the slightest. Could not tell you what we did. Going from rare to rare in Northrend. Oh, I remember getting the bag from... There was a big bag in Ice Crown. Was that the Shadowlands pre-patch event? It must have been. Sitting AFK waiting for bosses to spawn.
3, 2,
what on earth was the Dragonflight one? I remember the Shadowlands one more clearly. Yeah, Papa's bag I remember. Elemental storms, elemental invasions around Azeroth. Yeah, no, gone. No room left in the thinker for that one. Yeah.
4, 3,
Oh!
2,
We got those heirlooms, right? Like, you would kill the elementals of different types, and you would get the little components, and you would combine them to make your heirloom, your unstable elemental confluence. That I remember. And then I got that heirloom, and then later they, like, made it available some other way, and it was like, okay, that's fine.
4.
That's right. It's a good trinket. I leveled a few characters with it as an heirloom trinket. It did plenty of damage. And it had, like, a cool, like, visual effect on it. People used to ask me what that was coming from.
2, 1.
Excited to get the heirloom, and then I noticed that it pulls everything. Didn't like the Scarab alts. They weren't my favorite. They were kind of fussy to me. I do remember somewhere deep down. Torghast got a bad rep. I loved it. Not at launch. Hated it for, I don't know, 3-4 weeks. But once I had enough time to come to grips with it, as a holy priest anyway, I may have had a different opinion if I'd played something else, but as a holy priest, I had a lovely time. I love Torghast. I miss it every time we get something that's Torghast adjacent. It just makes me miss Torghast. Holy was good at it. You've expressed on a variety of occasions your feelings about Shadow and Torghast. Which is great, which is fine. Got feelings, let them out. Needed visual changes for each zone. I could have used a little bit more visual variety, but I get it. It's jail. It's hell. It's a tower in the underworld, you know. What are they gonna do? If you played something else, you could have just played Holy. Sad that Remix's gems weren't like Torghast powers. I got a little sad that the delve buffs that you pick up don't really work like Torghast powers. They looked like Torghast powers for a second, so I got all excited that that was what was going to happen, and nope, not so much. Alright, I need to figure out what it is that I'm going to do now. Because I got the Fang. I can hide these because we did that. All done. The powers aren't Torghast. They don't really, it's not, you're not like putting them together in a build in the same way that it was with Torghast. It's more akin to the powers that we got when we were doing Cobalt Assembly. So like this is a really good buff. It's going to last for like a minute or 2 minutes. Go nuts kind of thing. As opposed to Torghast where you were choosing between 3 things and you were like, oh man, I already have this power. This other one's going to combo really well with it. This is great kind of thing. That's what I did as Elemental after a while. Resto was much easier. Yeah. For Torghast. I gotta pick a new project. What do we want? We want something that's not from LFR because we just did a bunch of LFR. Oh yeah, I wanted to see how different these different Megaera's fangs are. So there's kind of like a coral pink. That's the other one from LFR. There's this teal blue situation. That's from normal. And then we have energy drink green. And that's from heroic. Pets you need? Not in remix. There are pets I need in Dragonflight still. Siege of Orgrimmar LFR. Oh, the cricket cage. It's kind of like a pet. 3 appearances from Siege LFR. Eek. What if I rolled this randomly? That's what Trove Tally needs, is a random feature. I don't have the fan from Valley of the Four Winds. I'm not crazy about the color. Same thing. Oh, the black one though, actually. That's kind of cool. That's kind of sick. The Four Winds fan is awful. We should pick something. Oh, you know what we should do actually is I wanted the Carapace Crusher from Scenarios. There is. Did I get it yet? No. This thing is cool. It's big. It's purple. It's neat. I think it would be a great Shadow Priest weapon. That particular color comes from Heroic Scenarios. So let's work on that. Let's hide his outfit. And then maybe like give him some. Do I have any pants in here? There we go. Just for the screenshot, you know. Can't be implying too much nudity with poor Shellfish here. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Oh, rare. Queue up the crypts! Change the title to Crypt Keeper. That's a good one. Here. I wonder if I should just suck it up and switch to Shadow Priest. Let's see how it goes. Last time I tried this, I was a little too slow for my own grinding comfort. But maybe at 467 it'll go better. Crypt Keeper. Trove Tally is the add-on that I'm using here to check on weapon appearances that I'm still missing. I'm happy with 71 of 119. It felt like for ages we were kind of at 60 and then we were at 61 and then like a day would go by and we'd maybe crawl to 62. So I feel like we jumped almost 10 in not short order, but like a fairly short amount of time. Felt like it. Getting that title from Revendreth. It's better than me. I didn't remember where I had it from. That mace is a recolor of an ultra rare green mace from Jade Temple. Oh. Looks like it would wreck your wrists in combat. What if our wrists are just like ripped, you know? What if they're just tendons of steel? Rippling cords of human sinew. Easy Scrap is helping me auto queue things up in the scrapper. Open Crypts and Revendreth with the keys. I know I did something like that for a mount. Ish. Don't really remember a lot of the details. Oh yeah, this is looking better. Although there is somebody else here, so I may be... Oh no, that was mainly me. We're doing stuff. I didn't even have to use my... I can save my Lifestorm for the very end. Ripped and also unpuncturable? I'd have to look at it again. You just really don't want to lose your grip. You know what's a vaguely comforting thought? No matter how small you might be or feeling out of shape or weak, there is probably somebody out there that you could beat at arm wrestling. And there's probably somebody out there that you could only barely beat at arm wrestling, but you could still beat them. And you would be really excited to have done so because it was so close. Like your nephew. Yeah, listen, just because he's 2 doesn't mean he's not strong. I don't think I've ever won arm wrestling in my entire life. I think I could take him. Maybe. That kid's getting tall real quick. Alright, so the nice thing about this farm is that... What happened to the... Shouldn't I have gotten another chance? I don't know. You can pretty much just roll it repeatedly back to back. The only thing you gotta be aware of is your instance lockout. Because you can only do 10 instances an hour. But you know, 10 in an hour is quite a few. It's a good chunk. There's also, I think, other things that I could get. There's 3 appearances total, so in addition to the Crusher, we also have a chance for this Light Drinker Blade and this Amber Blade. Revive the 100-pound game, gave up on Moose getting there, your nephew will probably make it eventually. Yeah, I don't know. It was fun when it was a dog. I don't think we're gonna do that for a person. Speaking of the dog, I think he's pretty much stabilized. He's 33 kg, which is somewhere in the neighborhood of 72 pounds, something like that. And I think that's basically the size he's gonna be. He could even trim up a little bit. We can tighten up his scoops of food just a hair. Substantial canine. I think so. He's my boo-boo bear. I've been so mushy this week. I'm just like a big ball of tears and feelings. And I look at Missy and I'm just like, boo-boo bear. How you doing? He's like, Mom, are you okay? Could you lift him if you had to? If I really had to, yes. But it may be in danger. I would be in danger of damaging my back. I don't think I could do it correctly, at least not right now. Maybe we'll get there. Part of the problem is that he doesn't like being picked up, so he's not just gonna hang there like a barbell. He's not a huge fan of the process. He's my moosey bear. Mr. Moose, such a big boy. He's a big boy. He's a big happy boy with a big strong tail that goes that can absolutely knock entire full heavy glassware off of the coffee table. Gotta watch out. I wonder if I fell behind too much to get... Oh no, I bet we can loot this. I'm gonna try to see if I can get him used to a nail Dremel so that we can avoid the clippers drama. I was talking to the vet about it, and he sounded encouraging, so I ordered one last minute for, well, Prime Day was still on, and I'm going to try to very slowly introduce it to Moose so I can avoid, like, burning it, basically. I don't want to freak him out with it so that there's yet another thing that we can't do, because I need to get his nail shorter. And it's a bit of a struggle. But I read lots of stories about people whose dogs don't like clippers that will tolerate the like a nail Dremel, so I'm hoping we can get there. Can you still bribe him as well as before? He has a limit where he's like, I don't care what you have, I am opting out of this. I am exercising my dog rights to not do this anymore. He hit that point. He was getting his vaccines yesterday, and we had a few to give to him, so he had to get a couple back to back. And after the first one, he got kind of nervous for the second one, and I had like a handful of treats to try to offer him to distract him. He was like, no, get me out of here, poor guy. He didn't even notice the third one. Like, he just kind of got himself a bit nervous about the whole thing. But, like, he definitely has a point after which he's like, I don't care what you're trying to feed me. I am done. However, if we're tightening up his meals a little bit to maybe trim him up a teeny tiny bit, maybe he'll be hungrier and he might be more food motivated. It's entirely possible. Love snacks, but not while getting needles. Yeah, I can't say I blame him. 6 pounds requires a healthy dose of sedation before vet visits. Yeah, Lucy's not a huge fan. He does all right. He's not like fearful or aggressive, which I'm lucky about. He's just he's not super patient, and he's not really sure what's going on. I handle him a lot, and he's used to some things. He was good about letting us check like ears and teeth and like front body, but I don't really like move his back legs ever. So when the vet was trying to like stretch out his hips, he was like, "What are you doing? Stop that immediately." But he's good. He's a healthy boy. He's looking good. Plus, I got a set up with my next like half a year of flea and tick meds, which is great. It means I don't have to go back to the vet to pick up more. Although I will have to be back there like next week because it's Miss Kira's annual appointment time. Which I think will be easier than the dog in some ways and harder than the dog in others. You know, you kind of have to catnap her, and she's not super thrilled, but she's actually a pretty good sport once you're actually there. She's just real mad going in the carrier. Rotary grinder thing meant for human feet, less noisy, still did the job in pup nails. Vet gives him spray cheese to lick off a tongue depressor, worked for both doggos. Poor Moosey, cheese makes his system very upset. I found out the hard way. He loves wet food though. Like I might try that next time I need to get him to do something kind of a little spooky, is like break out like a can of wet dog food and just give him a little bit of it off like a licky mat or something. That was like that too. The vet refused to even touch him without big thick gloves on. Yeah, you gotta keep everybody safe for sure. Every time they check either of my animals' heart rate at the vet, they're always like, it's kind of high, because they're like stressed because they're stressed at the vet. I don't know how often you would have to go to, or just how calm an animal you'd have to for them to be like, yeah, this is no big deal. You know, we're not there all the time. Of course it's weird. I'm just happy that he's there. Not a fun thing to find out when stuff upsets their stomach. It's possible that the incident I have in mind that he just had like food poisoning or something, but we've stayed clear of cheese just in case, because it was not, he had a very, very bad day and night. It was no fun for Moosey. But the good news is there's nothing that says a dog has to have cheese. Pretty stocky boy underneath all that fluff. The dog, maybe. Yeah. He wants everything. He wants to find out. Like, anytime anybody's eating anything he hasn't seen before, he wants to get as close as you're going to let him get to it to find out what it is. And whether or not it's any good for Moose. Please show me how to brush a cat's teeth who hates having their teeth brushed. I didn't think Kira would ever let me brush her teeth, because I didn't start doing it until, like, midway through her life. And she hated it, but as it turns out... Whoa! Guys, we got the weapon I needed. That's it. That was so easy. It's never that easy. We need a new thing. The screenshot that just manifested it. It turns out that Kira will put up with a lot because the toothpaste is really yummy to her. She loves the toothpaste even if she hates having her mouth opened. And I give her like a little extra treat at the end of it, so she puts up with me. I find that teeth brushing is easier than nails. And then Moosey loves, they love that toothpaste. I get the chicken flavored enzyme toothpaste from, oh, I forget the brand, but it's like the one that they have at the vet. That was easy. Dollop of miso paste. I don't know, but wouldn't that be insanely salty? Has Moose ever seen a chicken? He has, yeah, people have chickens around here. Chicken flavored toothpaste. Glad I don't have to use that. I am horrified of the day that I'm really tired when I'm brushing my teeth and I mix up his toothpaste and my toothpaste. It would be pretty hard to do. They have quite different appearances, but like that would be a bad day. And you never know. Sometimes you get really tired. I have a memory that is scarred into my brain where I one time mixed up my eye makeup remover for nail polish remover, and I thought that I had blinded myself. So anything's possible. Good news is I had not blinded myself. Wasn't when I was rinsing my eyes under my tap being like, I'm the dumbest person alive. I was mainly like, my first thought was ow, and my second thought was being so angry at myself that I had done something that stupid. It's like, if I actually have damaged my eyes because I put acetone in them, I'm gonna have to tell people what happened. Will you roll a troll in the next X pack? I'm gonna be a gnome. Pumpkin cookies from Moose smelled okay. They do, but those are just pumpkin and like oats and some flour and some flax seeds and stuff. I could eat them. They would be kind of bitter, but I could eat them if I wanted to. They don't have any meat in them. Did you get glasses after that? No, I already had glasses. It didn't do any lasting damage. It just hurt real bad. But I was in my bathroom, so I immediately rinsed them with like a ton of water. And have never made that mistake again. Alright, I need to pick a new thing because we got that one. That was crazy. That was so fast. So if that was good for scenarios, I guess I'm still in a raid finder queue somehow. What do I want is the thing. What do I want? We're not even going to look at the bottom of the list. It's a nice fan. It doesn't hurt to take something from a pack of stuff that has, like, multiple options. I kind of want the Jinyu's staff, because that was one of the things that I was farming on Squidgy before I switched off, and there's also 4 other things that could drop in the meantime. So I could farm that on the Isle of Thunder or the Timeless Isle. There's also 3 items that are pretty cool looking from normal scenarios, but I think we can take a little break from scenarios. There's 4 things from the Dread Wastes. 3 from Townlong. 1... oh yeah, the Grummel Lantern. Sweeten my tea with agave syrup. One night when I couldn't be bothered to turn the lights on, I sweetened my tea with dishwashing detergent. Oh no! Oh, that would be so gross. Blasphemer, thank you for the 61-month resub. Holy moly, good morning! I used to insufficiently rinse out my travel mugs after I had cleaned them with soap, and then my tea would taste like soap, and then I would drink it anyways and be just like upset. A long time ago. I now rinse excessively. Also, I think I was probably using too much soap at the time because I was like a teenager, And when you're 14, you're just like glad you're doing the dishes. You're not doing a particularly good job yet. At least I wasn't. Probably used way too much soap. Oh yeah, I was still looking through my list. Also, it's 10:47. I should probably take a break at some point. I guess after this LFR wing. That's details. We don't need that. Because these things that you get from there are kind of neat. There's like a red sigh as well as these kind of like red colored things. What am I missing from tier 14 raids actually? I should look at that. Learned there's a cat island in Japan. When you come back, it's food talk. Need a theme? I thought you were all about the vaporwave. Ah, I see. Beta typically ends when the expansion comes out, more or less. Sometimes a few days before then. There are some cool appearances that I don't have from tier 14 LFR raids. I don't know if I'm ready to sign up for another LFR grind right away. I could kind of do both though. I could like park myself out to AoE farm out in the Isle of Thunder while grinding LFR. I would just be deciding which... I'd probably be better to focus on like the LFR weapon and then hope that you get the other thing in the meantime. Yeah, your tunes that you level in Remix will transfer to regular tunes before the expansion comes out. A couple of days before then. Is mayonnaise a theme? Nothing like a good egg oil emulsion. Is Miracle Whip considered mayo? No. Not to me. Miracle Whip, as far as I understand, is a petroleum project. It is one science experiment away from being Vaseline. I don't consider it food. And it was pretty normal to have desserts that were made with Miracle Whip, or Cool Whip, I guess. I think I'm mixing them up. I think I'm mixing up Miracle Whip for Cool Whip, but like, that was like a thing, is there would be like these dessert recipes that used it along with other Jell-O products. And every time I ate it, I was like, this is just fluffy Vaseline. Okay, but is a Big Mac lasagna? You know what? Yes. If you want it to be, absolutely.
Stop them! The animus must not be disturbed. The power, it cannot be wielded this way. You tempt forces you do not understand.
Now I need to know if Miracle Whip and Cool Whip are related or if I'm just confused.
You have doomed yourselves.
What exactly is Miracle Whip? There you go. A mayonnaise-like product first created. Same ingredients, adds a number of others including sugar, mustard, and spices, and notably sweeter. Oh, okay. Condiment manufactured by Kraft Heinz. History. Cheaper alternative to mayonnaise during the Great Depression. Soon became a success as a condiment for fruits, vegetables, and salads. Huh. Alright. Okay, so I'm thinking of Cool Whip. Miracle Whip sounds like it's mainly made out of food. It's just sweeter and tangier. Cool Whip, also manufactured by Kraft Heinz. Used in North America as a topping for desserts. Sold frozen. Has a longer shelf life than cream. Originally marketed as being non-dairy despite containing the milk protein casein. Now includes skim milk. Made of water, vegetable oil, fructose corn syrup.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, never mind. I don't know where I got. I'm spreading misinformation. It's not petroleum. I don't know why I thought it was. Is that like an urban legend, or am I just like making things up? The untold truth of Cool Whip. Okay. Well, I can't speak to it. Learned something today. Like it on fruit for later dessert. It is a thing. It used to be pretty normal to have growing up. It's just not something that I really miss from my childhood. Funnily enough, I'm actually pro margarine. As much as I'm apparently anti-Miracle Whip and Cool Whip, I am very much pro margarine. I want to learn something horrifying this fine Thursday morning? Absolutely. Cheese Whiz. Cheese Whiz just makes me think of Pauly Shore. Use margarine because it's not $8 for a stick. You get it. Although it is getting there, but you get it. Radical, dude. The Goofy movie is full of nothing but perfect quotes. Even now when I go fishing, my partner and I still will joke about the perfect cast. I kind of want to finish this quest just because I'm like here. Love those movies. I'm still waiting for this horrifying fact. I'm trying to think of a uplifting one to counterbalance it with after. I was Googling good news recently to try to cheer myself up because that's a time-honored strategy. And it came up with something about how there's 2 parrots that were going to try to fall in love to save their species at a zoo. They were red four-headed macaws that were native to, I want to say Bolivia? While you're Googling things, Google why were. Have you chickened out of your horrifying fact? Because it's okay if you have. If you have thought it through and decided against it, then I support your decision. When I was younger, I had a crush on Max Goof. Alright. That is part of it. Alright, I'll bite. Why were chainsaws invented? Cornflakes invented. Residential schools created. That's dark. Followed by pistachios red. Why? What's yours? We had to make it 3 steps down to hit genocide. It's the chainsaw one? Okay. Alright. Why were chainsaws invented? To make oh, don't Google that. That's upsetting. You're right. I didn't need to know that. That is horrific. That's true. When filming Lord of the Rings, they wanted a shot of Gimli, Aragorn, and Legolas running into the sunrise. So Viggo Mortensen organized a huge campout. Googled it at your own risk. It's the #1 search result because of a YouTube short.
We must not falter.
I gotcha. I'm almost out of water. I gotta refill when I get up. Speaking of which, I was gonna take a break like ages ago. I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I'm back. And food talk. Alright, do your worst. I went to go refill my water and see my puppy doggy. I am here. Hi, Scarlett. Welcome back. Horror movies about the ocean. Would you believe I've never seen Jaws? I read somewhere some headline that said one of the reasons it was so scary is because they had to find creative ways to add suspense without actually showing it, because apparently the mechanical shark wasn't very scary, so they like couldn't use it as much as they intended, and that was one of the things that made it such a great movie. And I've never actually sat down and watched it. Would you believe? Neither have I yet. I couldn't believe that. Already did my worst what's for lunch. That's a later us problem. We had a pretty good breakfast, so we'll have some time to figure it out. I did my yoga early this morning, so I don't have to do it. Yesterday I did it after stream before lunch, which was good because I got it done in the day, but it was a bit tough because I was really hungry by the time I was done. Okay. I'm going to pick a new thing to do. I'm going to pick one of these 4 items. Kind of like the dagger, but it's got to be one of the staves. Either the Jinya with the red handle. Yeah, it's got to be that one. That's got to be it. It's going to be a bit of a tight screenshot here. Oh, I scrapped all my stuff, so I can't. Hang on. Can I redress? Actually, I can just try on my own pants. Because I could... We'll make that the screenshot. Kind of fun. I like playing a screenshot tag. What is it called? Jinya Orb of the Watercolor. What's a water cooler? Watercolor. Yeah, it's not so bad. Okie dokie. So that comes from tier 14 LFR, which means that I can do Terrace of Endless Spring, any Heart of Fear wing, any Mogashan Vault wing. They're all fine. My favorites are basically the first wing of each one, because there's less like RP and stuff in them. So we'll queue for those 3, but if the queues are taking very long, we can queue up for a 4th as well. I did get the purple mace. Sometimes you get lucky and they just happen. We got a couple things today. We got the Megara's Fang. I got the purple mace. I feel like maybe one more even. Or maybe not. I'm going to the Isle of Thunder is what I'm going to do. Because I want to, in between the queues, I want to be grinding mobs out there to try to farm. I really want the Jinyu staff. This thing. I want that one too. I was trying to make that one drop on Squidgy and it wasn't happening.
I will handle the rest of this. You take those arrows and get down to the action at the bridge.
Didn't even get to gamble on the mace. No. I don't know if I want to open one up for you know, without the whole stream to bet. I don't think the odds of it happening in the next hour are very good. Dailies for Mile of Thunder, good for mog farming. Give coins, can be turned into more boxes. Oh, I should do those then. I don't even know if I properly unlocked Isle of Thunder. I did just enough of it to get the portal out there, I think. There may be more quests for me to do if I go to the hub. So let's hide this for now. Watch both staffs drop within 20 minutes. Posted my WoW tokens. Guaranteed myself 1.1 mil. Nice. Morning from your fellow British Columbian. Good morning. I hope your weather's good. It's pretty here in Victoria. Gonna be a little warm, not too crazy. Oh, if I'm gonna do the scenario stuff, I can't do that while I'm in LFR queue. So, on one hand, I want a quest to do dailies. On the other hand, I want to be in LFR queue because I really did pick the weapon. I think I'm gonna grind for now. I'm gonna go out to the Court of Bones and farm. Every time I look at my Steam library, I'm surprised that I actually own Subnautica, because it's been such a meme here that I will never play it. That I forgot that at some point in my life, and I don't know when, I must have purchased it. I think it went on sale. Did somebody say Subnautica? It's been really sunny here in Metro Vancouver. I'm sure when I one day play it, it's going to be wonderful. Like, I can't imagine not liking it now, although that is a lot of pressure. But I'm trusting you to have a better read on what kind of games I like than Stray. It's very good. What is your reason for not playing it? Same as my reason for not playing every other game. It's just not what I'm doing right now. I tend to do things in life on an opt-in basis instead of opting out of everything else, because you'd go kind of crazy to not do, you know, you look at everything you could possibly do with every moment, you try and roll them all out. There's just too many things. Could play Cthulhu on the Switch, Sinking City, whatever it was called. Alright. 1 staff, please. Jinya, Orb of the Watercolor. I don't think it's going to be wildly different in appearance from the non-remix exclusive color. I think it's probably just a different wrap on the staff. Like the red handle as opposed to a different colored handle. But let me look. Let me poke around. Because I'm sure we have a bunch of them. I'm curious as to how unique it is. So there's Orb of the Water Speaker. That actually has more of a yellow orb, whereas the one we're farming is blue. There's a blue Orb of the Water Speaker. Same color orb. Slightly greener handle. Brown there instead of red. Anything else? There's a purple one. That's kind of nice. Are there more? There's like really basic versions of them. Also, I need to make sure I don't fall too far behind. Yeah. I mean, it's not like crazy unique, but it's not bad. I fell a little far behind. Crafting. Do you like crafting? I do like crafting. You play it with or without hunger. Gorgeous open water. Crafted world, not randomly generated, so you get progression. Story's fine, not great. Works for me. That does sound up my alley. Is it purely single player or is there any multiplayer? Is this something that I could play with Flabby? Strictly single player. Truly have no clue what I'll do with said 1.1 million gold. I mean, better to... Sounds like you're prepared, you know. Sometimes you can prepare for things without even knowing what you need it for. Also, it got really spooky quiet in this raid. What happened? Where's my sounds? Did I turn them off? I might have turned them off. Screen share with Flyby on Discord. Share ideas. True. That does sound like fun. We do that sometimes. The whole wing. That was pretty fast. No one of the devs did ask him to flip the multiplayer switch, but he refused. Is it you? Have you secretly been the Subnautica dev the whole time? Because that would be A-tier funny. It's okay. You don't have to out yourself. I'm not, but that would be funny. You never know who somebody is or what else they do. What else they do online. In chat. Whenever I've gotten to talk to you guys about your jobs, people do crazy things. I'm always like really impressed by everything that people are working on and going to school for. You guys are a little intimidating. You leave really impressive lives. I was heading to the Court of Bones. That's right. My job? Sleeping. I sleep like it's my job sometimes. Any Blizz devs in your chat before? Statistically, most likely. On occasion. Couldn't say. Job is also playing a video game. How many kids dream about having that job? It really is a very popular thing to want to do, and it's easy to see why. I feel like a lot of jobs that are highly desired are a combination between glamorous, looks easy, looks high paid, and visible as a thing. there's plenty of jobs that I'm sure people would want if they knew about them, but they're not. Like, when I was a kid, I thought the only jobs that anybody could do were the jobs that I saw people doing. So I thought that you were either an actor or you worked in retail, because all I did was watch TV and go to the grocery store. So I figured those were your only career paths, because everything else was happening behind closed doors, and I didn't have any idea what was going on. I figured if I hadn't heard of something or seen somebody doing it, it didn't exist. And so anybody in streaming and content creation is going to be eminently visible to young people. Gainfully unemployed, but working on it. Hey, doesn't define you. If you play Subnautica, make sure you've got the sound on. The sound design of that game is great. Making me kind of nervous. I'm not... Here's the thing. Currently, at this moment in my life, I'm not afraid of the ocean. I don't really want that to change. It's good that I'm not afraid of the ocean, you know? I'm afraid of everything else. The last thing I need is to pick up a new fear. You know what I mean? I'm retired. I have not been afraid of the ocean, but that game genuinely makes it feel very impressive. Has some very big fish in it. Bigger fish than me? I know there are lots of fish that are bigger than me. I also recently came across the fact that, like, I'd heard half of it. We had been talking about orca whales. Because we have those here, and I've seen them once, and I was very excited. Because I love them very much. Anytime I have a dream that involves orca whales, I feel like I've been, like, blessed by the spirits. It's a bit extra. Anyways, we were talking about them and somebody was like, they're just big dolphins. They're not even whales. And I looked into it, and they are closely related to dolphins. But it's not because orcas aren't whales, it's because dolphins are whales. Dolphins are just a smaller type of whale. It's like a taxonomically sort of close area. Doesn't make an orca any less of a whale. There's always bigger fish. Don't have Subnautica, but I do have Soma. Retired Navy, the only water I go in these days is chlorinated. North Atlantic is terrifying. I can't imagine. I go fishing in the Pacific, and I do it from the shore, where I can keep my feet on the ground. Well, I try to keep my feet on the ground. Sometimes the rocks are a little slippery. I dropped my phone in a tide pool once, and then I was like, I'm gonna have to get this back. It's gonna be kind of a project. But water safety is very important. People lose their lives just in like lakes and rivers around here because they underestimate how dangerous it can be just going in. I was really happy to see at one of the parks that I went to, they had personal flotation devices available for kids to borrow, like children's ones just out. So even if you couldn't afford to have one and bring it, you could get one for your kid to wear on the beach. But the thing I see all the time that kind of drives me nuts, and I'm not in a position to judge anybody, and it's, I don't know, disclaimers I make before I blatantly judge somebody. People will go, they'll take out boats with their kids, which is great. They'll be on the lake in a little boat, and they'll have their kid, and they're going fishing or whatever. Super cute. And their kid's wearing a personal flotation device. Perfect. Wonderful. Love safety equipment. Love to see it. But the parent won't be wearing anything. And I just think, like, what, like, don't you want to set an example for your child that's in the boat with you that safety is for everybody? The reason I'm mad about it is because I knew adults in my life used to do that when I was a kid too, and it would drive me nuts. And it's like, you're telling me that I'm, you know, that I'm in danger and I need the safety equipment, but you're too good for it. What, do big people not sink? Like, you're not worth saving? What kind of message are we trying to send here? Like, how hard would it be for mom or dad to just put on the life vest along with everybody else? It just seems, I don't know. It drives me nuts. I wish they would set a good example for their kids. Same thing with like helmets and bikes, you know, like just because you're big enough to take risks doesn't mean that you should model that behavior for kids. I want to make the safety equipment cool for everybody. I guess maybe it's not cool if it's on your parents, but still. Anyone remember the BFA campaign quest made you go to the bottom of the ocean to some shipwrecks, pitch black, had to wear a helmet with a lantern on it? Don't get the lantern on for too long or you might attract stuff. I don't think I have. Can't work on that tan with all that safety equipment on. Listen, nothing's hotter than a life jacket tan. And also some good waterproof SPF 50. Hill farmer's tan. I'm doing my best to make my way through the summer without picking up much of a tan because any amount of it is still like, you know, solar radiation. And I try and protect myself from sun as best as I can, but I go out enough that I'm gonna get a little bit tan no matter what I do.
Phase 2. Target change. Phase
I made the
3.
mistake of going fishing in a vintage shirt. It was like a big, heavy cotton one. It was the stripper shirt with the Cape Cod ocean fish on it. Super comfy shirt. Love it. Not good for a hot day out at the lake. Gets damp with sweat very quickly, very hot, doesn't breathe very well. Poor choice. Stick with the lighter weight, the tech fabrics for fishing days. If you have the choice, would you play things with or without hunger thirst meters? It kind of depends. I feel like some games would be boring without the hunger thirst meter, and then others, it just adds stress that you don't really need. It kind of depends on how integral it is to the struggle of the game. I like it in Valheim where if, like, you need to eat food to keep your buff up, but you're not going to starve to death if you completely let it run out. Like, you're not stressed if you're just building in town. Like, yeah, you might get a little bit vulnerable, but you're not going to just starve to death while you're chopping down a tree. You know, you might die if the tree hits you on the head, but that's just real life. Don't personally like it, just busy work, distracting from actual gameplay. Yeah. But in Don't Starve, it seems like it's just so core to the basics of the game that I felt like if I played Don't Starve without the hunger meter, I would be confused as to what I was doing there. I feel like in that game, it's central. So it just kind of depends on where it is. I would argue in a game called Don't Starve, the hunger is the gameplay. Dude, I've never beaten Don't Starve in my life. I've played a lot of it. I always starve. I always die to wolves or hunger or something. That game's hard. I need to turn the difficulty down just so I can, like, see the end of it. I don't know. I don't know what you actually do. I think there's a portal or something that you build. I like farming in games. Rather have a farming hunger in Minecraft than the mogs. I love farming too. Played a little. Friend wondered if the angry tree near the base was flammable. It was. Not in a good way. Oh man. I'm pretty sure I've lit chests on fire by accident. Just burned down bases before in Don't Starve. You know, it's teaching you valuable life lessons. At least I've never burned anything down in real life. I think the largest thing that I've ever caught on fire accidentally was like a marshmallow. I think. I don't think I've ever had something catch while cooking it. Maybe chocolate in the microwave. I think I was once melting chocolate chips in the microwave as a kid, and I did it too hot for too long, and it like caught fire, and then charred, and I had to throw the whole thing out. I don't burn food very much, no. I am more likely to go too far in the opposite direction and make food that's not very good, but is not burned. Have you come close to burning things down? I really haven't. I've told this story before, but I have a relative that's a fire chief, and they made very sure that everybody understood fire safety and took it very seriously, which is fair. And, you know, as kids, they teach you not to play with matches. But I've told the story before about how, like, there was never a moment where they're like, all right, you're old enough, here's how matches work. They just never did. So, like, I got older and grew up and moved out and was like, wait, I guess I'm allowed to use matches now. I don't know how. Like, I had to look it up. And I was, like, really afraid that I was going to burn my fingers or I was going to light something or drop them or something. Like, they felt so dangerous to me because I'd never used them. And all I knew was that you shouldn't play with them. Because that's what you teach children, to stop them from starting fires. Careless placement of a magnifying mirror near a sunny window. Ooh, that's kind of scary. If you think you can make cookies by putting cookie dough in the microwave in a Tupperware, you cannot. Having a fire safety class with a local fire department at school. Yeah, I felt like we learned lots of good safety. It felt important, you know? Something to take seriously. If you're not going to take anything else seriously, it's not a bad start to pick things that can keep you alive. So it's only 20 after 11. Let's queue up for a few more of these wings here. Give another round of tries. How many druids is too many druids? 66, because then you're above character limit. Oh, you know what? I have started fires. I would start fires... No, actually, that wasn't me. I would just watch people do it. We had a wood-burning stove, and you would need to start the fire from scratch in the evening to get it going. And that was a bit of a project. You know, you would need a little bit of newspaper and some kindling. If you've never started a fire, sometimes you think it's going to be easier than it turns out to be. But I wasn't old enough to actually be the person that was doing it, so I don't think I ever did. I might have done. I remember we had special stuff for it. Never test the wall socket through the electric fences. I was really scared of electric fences. Somebody had like an invisible electric fence to keep their dog in. Not like a neighbor, like not somebody I knew, but we were always afraid of it because we didn't understand how it worked with the collars, so we thought it could shock just like passing children, so we were always like really scared of that yard. I'm not doing this quest. I know the cash would give me a chance at Mog, but Secret Pyromaniac Hazel. I'm very curious if I had to do it now. If I had to start a fire for like a campfire or like in a wood burning stove, if I would be able to get it going, or if I would just struggle, because I don't know if I've ever done it, and if I have done it, it would have been a long time ago. Happened after a child caught his parents' house on fire. A little retroactive in their efforts, good nonetheless. Yeah, I think it only shocks the color. I don't think it'll do anything to passing children. It's an invisible electric fence, something you would consider. Not for me, no. I could go for a very big real fence. Not electric, just a fence. No, not for moose. Not for any animals in my life. Very large privacy fence for my doggy one day. I would love to have like a big yard and like an 8-foot wooden fence. Good privacy. And then have the yard big enough that the sun can still get over it so that you can still grow stuff. Yeah. That's the dream. It's like the what would you do if you won the lottery kind of dream around here with these prices, but it would be beautiful. 8 feet isn't very long. For a brief second I was like, sure it is, because it's like a pretty tall fence, and then I realized what you wrote and now I'm mad. Yeah. 8 feet tall. Grandparents have some. Take my doggy there on weekends for tea. She absolutely loves running in their yard. Any fence that's going to contain moose is going to need to be very tall and very sturdy because that boy can be quite the hurricane. Cannot help myself. You're good. You're just fine. I've discovered the hard way that especially if it has a flat top to it, if a fence is like kind of 5 feet tall, 5.5 feet tall, moose can clear it. He can hop right up on there and haul himself over. Won't jump in the car necessarily, although he's getting better about that, but it's gotta be a real good fence to keep that one in. There's a word for the pathological urge to make puns, and no joke, it's a German word. 8 foot, just more training, right? It's kind of a bizarre thing, but sometimes I'm proud of just how strong and like athletic Moose is, you know? He seems like he's in good shape, and he seems like he really has fun, you know, running really fast or wrestling, or like whenever he gets to like really use his body to do something, he's always so stoked about it. Depending on what tools you have, you would have no trouble starting a fire. Rubbing sticks together, you'd have a hard time, but flamethrower and gasoline, you would have no issue. That is a good point. I've watched a fair amount of wilderness survival content just because that kind of comes from having seen a bunch of Alone. I don't think I would do very well with a bow drill. I wouldn't have the patience for it. I was imagining like kindling and matches kind of thing, you know, like your typical, you're camping and you're trying to start a campfire. So no flamethrowers. How big is he now? Puppy from around the same time you got Moose is 53 pounds, husky golden mix. Oh, she sounds lovely. Moosey is about 72 pounds. He could maybe lose a pound. Vet mentioned that he's not fat, but he's got a layer. Can trim up a little bit. Ready for winter. He wanted to make friends with everybody at the vet, including the cats. We had to keep him on a pretty tight lead, being like, nope, bud. That kitty is not having a good day and they do not want to meet Moose. Any takers? He was quite successful with all of the people, including some of the people that were waiting there for their animals. I always feel a bit bad when Moose like really wants to meet somebody because I don't want him to make anybody uncomfortable, but as it turns out, sometimes at the vet there are dog people there. 60-pound redbone coonhound lab mix. I love how hounds bark. All kinds of hounds. I love the woo 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 woo. I know a few of them. There's one of them that sometimes drives by in a van and it sticks its head at the back and it just yells. It just goes woo like every single time. And it kills me every single time. I love it so much. Does that calls dogs he sees outside with? I would never adopt one if I didn't have space. I don't think I would do it if I lived in a shared wall kind of dwelling because because it might be kind of loud. I'm lucky that Moosey's quite a quiet boy. He's not a big barker. You should meet Moose. Vet used to have separate sides for cats and dogs. Since the remodel all in the same lobby, poor kitties get stressed. Yeah, it's a bit tough. People will have their cats generally in carriers, and sometimes they'll put like a towel or something over it so that the cat doesn't have to see the dog, but I'm sure they can still like hear and smell them and stuff. Now I want to name a dog Bob Barker. Bobby. St. Bernard English Mastiff mix. 150 pounds of pure dog. Oh. Does your doggy like doggies? I know not all of them do, but Moose has one or two friends that are like 100+ pound like giant dogs, and it's really funny to watch them play because not all of them have dogs they can romp with that aren't afraid of an enormous dog, and Moose will just romp with anybody. He has no concept of how many pounds of dog is coming at him. More than double Moose. I'm just so smooshy. I just love them all. I got to meet a puppy from Mexico recently. People sometimes will adopt dogs from Mexico here. And I got to meet one that had come, I think, must have been relatively recently because the dog still looked really young. And he was so cute. And he was so sweet. He was just so happy to be there and wag his tail. Seeing all the people. Let's have any bear/dog friends who are bigger than him. Dogs, yes. Bears, no. We've never found a bear, and I'm gonna hope that we never do. But yeah, he's got a couple dog friends that are much bigger than him. They're all older as well, so they'll have the energy to kind of play like once, and they'll be like, alright, whippersnapper, see you later. Zelda lives with 2 small dogs. Some dogs look suspiciously like bears. I know a Newfie that you could confuse for a black bear at a distance. I love him very much. He's so cute. Alright, 1 staff, please. I feel greedy even asking for it. We've had so many lucky things today.
Phase 2. Target change.
We should do an all the things random next week after pre-batch comes out.
Phase 3.
That'd be really fun.
Target change.
See how many other things we can get before the thing drops. Did we get the last ATT random? No, I think it was Paladin tier from Naxxramas that didn't drop. I'm not sure if class tier is going to count, to be honest with you. I know, like, you know, armor type things are going to mix over, but I don't actually know how it's going to work for class tier items. There is, yeah. It's a section from a news video, but that link should have the timestamp for it. Because I also was overwhelmed when I first started using it. Yeah, it's a big add-on. I turned off a lot of things. Oh, I forgot about Sulong. Oops, my bad. I don't even deserve to loot this. I was up waiting by whatchamacallit. It would have been really funny if it dropped right there. I can do some more upgrades. I have more bronze now than I did before. We're up to 15k again. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Killads.
How are you today? We've been kind of cleaning up in transmogs and remix this morning. Didn't really need Elf anymore with the Dragonflight rework. I know a lot of people really like Elf, which is great. A few of my friends that have it, though, every time there's like a patch, they're always kind complaining about how annoying it is to have to separately go fetch updates for Elv independently from the rest of their add-ons, because it doesn't, or at least at the time it didn't, I don't know, doesn't work through CurseForge the same way, and that always seemed kind of extra. They changed that? Oh, that's good. Good for them. I never thought I would quit Bartender, but then the Dragonflight rework made me quit Bartender. I was able to do everything I wanted with the default UI, and I thought, well, I guess that's one add-on I don't need anymore. RIP, thanks for your years of service. Now, if they do nameplates, I'll be in business. Hang on. So I got a staff, but it's not the same one. This is a different color. I had that appearance already. I just got the item ID for it. I need the one with the red handle. It is a little different. This is a brown handle. I think I would still use Plater even with a rework. I think I'm at that point as well, because some of the things that I really like from Plater now are not things that I would expect them to implement into nameplates, even if they reworked them. Things like changing the color of a nameplate for a quest mob. I love that. I think it's amazing. Or like the way you can have it highlight important casts in like a trash pack. And that's kind of above and beyond what I would expect from a default UI. The main thing I really want default nameplates updated for is for PTR and beta, because I prefer to use no add-ons for those. And nameplates are the last sticking point that just makes it frustrating to play. But yeah, now once I had my Plater profile set up and I was comfy with it, it's hard to imagine going back. Had a pack in Shadowlands that would have different colors for dangerous mobs in a pack. Yeah. Change a mob's color for specific debuffs. Oh, I didn't even think about that. That would be kind of helpful if I was playing more Shadow. Maybe I should adjust my Plater profile. I'm going to turn off one of my lights. Maybe the other one. Yeah, there we go. Is that better? I don't know if that's better. We've been
Phase
getting
change.
some little baby migraines. Yeah, lucky there are people who make profiles for it. Use it a lot for S-Priest, changes nameplate color for mobs with Vampiric Touch. I suppose I really could just import somebody else's Plater profile. Now that I know that's like a thing that people do, there's nothing stopping me from doing it except for the fact that I put out my own Plater profile. It's my ego getting in my own way.
Beware.
How do y'all get the profiles to stick? I wish I had something helpful to tell you, but for me, it's literally never been a problem. I've never had my settings change. Don't need it, no need to change it. I haven't been playing Shadow since I've installed Plater, though. Like, I got set up with Plater in Shadowlands, I think. Or was it BFA? I don't know if I've ever messed with it when I was playing Shadow. Maybe for a hot second at the end of BFA, but like, for the most part, I've been healing this whole time. What? I want to be a good Shadow Priest. Or I want to be an average. I want to be like a B+ Shadow Priest. That's kind of my goal. If I can be like a 76th percentile normal heroic rating Shadow Priest, that would be fine for me. That's kind of my goal. Oh, we got something. We got the Fear Speaker's War Staff appearance I needed. Love it. It's not the one that was on the graphic, but it's another one off the list. You think I set it up in Shadowlands? The reason I'm thinking BFA was because I specifically remember being on Mechagon, but I may have been on Mechagon farming something during Shadowlands. I remember logging into to Mechagon and realizing that my bars were awful. It was because I used to use KUI nameplates, and when they made a change, one of the patches, maybe the Shadowlands pre-patch, I don't know. KUI nameplates broke for a minute, and I had to set up something else. Oh yeah. KUI was borked for a long time. What is time even? I don't know, man. Am I still in queue? No, I finished all of the raids that I was queued up for. We've done so well today. You know what I can do actually is I can maybe pick a few, like instead of getting back into queue, I can do a few of those early scenarios to get some daily quests unlocked for here. It'll probably won't finish it, but oh, I'm looking for the Sunreaver beacon because that can actually port me back because I'm actually on the Throne of Thunder. I love Thunder. Use it now as well. Can't give it up. Default too good. Yeah, it was my go-to forever. Usually, some add-ons are so good that it really takes like a big gap in them getting updated for me to leave them behind. I was like that with my damage meters for a long time. I used Recount for ages until there was one patch where it just wasn't working right. And then that was when I first decided to try out, I think it was SCADA at the time, and I used that for a while before I ended up on Details. But not like, it took a crisis like that to kick me off of Recount because I wasn't going to turn it off myself. Let me down. I remember doing these scenarios. Took me kind of a while when I was doing them on Squidgy to get like the daily quests and everything unlocked. Love the functionality they've added to the vanilla UI. Less add-ons, the better. Used Recount forever and then redid the add-ons. Realized literally the whole world used Details, so I tried that. Me using Details kind of feels like somebody using spreadsheets just to make their grocery list in. Which is also me using spreadsheets. Like, it's like, Details is like this incredibly powerful add-on that can do really cool breakdowns of data, and it can show you all kinds of different things. And I'm over here using the most surface level application imaginable with no settings changed whatsoever. The main thing that I really like about Details, and this is silly, is that you can change your display name so that other people using Details will see your name as whatever. I can have my Details name be Hazel, and then even if I'm on a different character, if I'm playing Inksy, people will see Hazel on the priest thing. And a bunch of my raiders use Details, so people will sometimes meme and joke by changing their names to be like each other and stuff. Like, so, like a raider will be not there, and then like other people that play the same class will like change their Details name to be the missing raider's name so that they're like there in spirit. Arms warrior main is legs warrior. Fine way to use spreadsheets. Haven't done anything to the settings for Details. Raid changes Details names exclusively to banter. I mainly just like having it set to Hazel. I think it's kind of nice just to have a tag there. But yeah, people will be making jokes. This is who I am. No paperwork. No politics. For a second I thought he said no police. Lorthamar. Off the chain. I'm going this way. Thanks for the video. Still helpful. Oh, good. Still says shellfish. Yeah, it's fine to say shellfish. I'm undercover in Remix anyway. I have been Cocaine Bear for a bit. Did you actually see the movie, or is it just the meme? I'm wondering if it's worth watching. My understanding is that for that film, The product is advertised pretty well in the sticker. Kind of what you see is what you get. But I was like vaguely intrigued just based on the premise of it. It seemed pretty straightforward. Define worth watching. Yeah, it's hard. Very personal thing. Knock knock. I guess I have to do something. Because that gate's not open. I guess I didn't follow Lorthmar. I guess I left him behind. He might have found another way in. It's actually 5 days till pre-patch. I forgot to update it. That's my bad. Who's there? I'm not exactly a pinnacle of organization right now. So soon? Yeah. Yeah, kind of crazy. Kind of crazy soon. This turn in over here? More or less? And yet, the state of beta. Any luck? No? Alright. Let's go back to Shrine and see if I can get... I don't know if I can afford it. We can try. Yeah. It's beta. Things won't be perfect when they come out. They never are. They push patches and patches and patches when the game first comes out. It just kind of is what it is. Getting as much bronze as I can here. Alright, can we get this finished? Is this gonna... I think I'm gonna be like a tiny bit of bronze short. Because that is... My helmet is full... Yeah, this is the last round of upgrades, but I need to do everything. It's not gonna be enough bronze, because I'll need 9k just to do the weapon. However, tomorrow I should finish it. We've only got 4 upgrades left. Even just doing a few dailies will be enough to get them done. I always thought the beta was the first 2 weeks of the new X-Pack. Yeah, more or less. People will always complain about it, and they have a valid point. It is a bit silly to pay full price to buy something that is not finished yet, but that's just kind of where we're at as a industry. Games as a service that they continue working on, which kind of means they get to keep fixing up as you go. You can either pay for it and play, or you can skip it. It's up to you. Yeah, it would be nice if everything was a little more polished, but I'm not that polished in my life, so I don't think I'm allowed to sit here and say anybody else isn't doing enough. They already have your money, right? Yeah, it's not like they have a huge incentive to do any differently. If it's working, it's working. I'm gonna wrap up a couple of minutes early here. But I will be back for some amount of time tomorrow. I might trim up streams a little bit this weekend to see if I can get some extra time to get some video stuff together. So I'll keep you posted on that. I'll start them at the right time, but I might end them a little early. I appreciate the company today. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.